Well met, friends, and welcome to the Lore Alliance. One of the Lord of the Rings' most popular quotes concerns a root vegetable. And this is an account on the trivial mystery of potatoes in Middle-earth. I am Pierre, aka Gamgee, at your service for knowledge about J.R.R. Tolkien's Legendarium. In the region of Ithilien, at the border to Mordor, Samwise Gamgee upset Gollum by making stew of some rabbits Gollum had caught. Sam said that hobbits could not eat raw rabbit, and preferred that meat with herbs and roots, especially taters. Sam threatened Gollum to make him fetch herbs, but Gollum refused. Sam was not nice, and Gollum would not eat smelly leaves, though he had to ask.
What's taters, precious? What's taters, eh? Potatoes.
Sam did not list what could be made of them or with them, but he did mention they were his father's delight, and if Gollum did fetch herbs and change his manners, Sam would make him taters one of these days. Sam was confident that no one could say no to fry fish and chips served by S. Gamgee. But Gollum replied that yes, they could. He considered it spoiling nice fish, scorching it. He preferred the fish directly, while Sam could keep the nasty chips. Sam's father was called the Gaffer, and in the matter of roots, especially potatoes, the Gaffer was recognized as the leading authority by all in the neighborhood, including himself. When Bilbo had departed from the Shire, he had left behind gifts to many hobbits, and, indeed, among other handy things, the old Gaffer Gamgee got 2 sacks of potatoes. When Frodo and his friends returned home from their adventure, they found that Saruman and his ruffians had devastated the Shire. The Gaffer was angry that Saruman's servants had ruined his taters. Potatoes among hobbits is actually a small curiosity. Middle-earth is the old world, just in a fictitious mythological prehistory. Potatoes, meanwhile, come from the New World, grown by, for example, the Incas. They were introduced to Europe within the last 500 years. When The Hobbit was written, it borrowed from J.R.R.'s Legendarium, but was not intended to be a part of it. Once he wrote The Lord of the Rings, however, it became necessary that Bilbo's adventure was set in the same universe. One of the changes J.R.R. made to the novel's editions after The Lord of the Rings was to remove Bilbo's tomatoes. It is presumed this was because tomatoes are from the New World. So no, on a side note, there's no disgusting Denethor eating tomatoes scene in the books. But if tomatoes were removed, how can there be taters? Assuming that potato is not supposed to be a translation of some native root crop, there is one other New World consumable present in the book that might offer us an explanation, and that is tobacco, also known as pipeweed. It is proposed that hobbits got pipeweed from Gondor, whither it was originally brought over the sea by the men of Westerness. Their island homeland of Numenor had plants not growing in Middle-earth brought by the elves, but the Dunedain did also sail around the world. And those that sail furthest set but a girdle about the earth, and returned weary at last to the place of their beginning. The Dunedain brought tobacco to Middle-earth only for the fragrance of its flowers, and it was hobbits who, first 400 years before The Lord of the Rings, discovered that the plant could be smoked. And yes, to the disappointment of hippies and teenagers everywhere, pipeweed is not only a variety probably of Nicotiana, but actually confirmed not only in letters but in the novel itself. He produced a small leather bag full of tobacco. Something similar to tobacco might be the case with potatoes, who have pretty flowers. Also, since in the books only hobbits are known to eat the root crop. If so, the introduced potato, as tobacco, seemingly died out in the old world before recorded history began. For what it's worth, I am sure that that fate would make Gollum very happy. I hope you have enjoyed this account, and if you have any questions or reflections, feel welcome to leave a comment below. Next episode will be on when Legolas slew a fell beast and is bound for Monday. Take care, until then, Namarie.